Hello everyone, good evening, welcome to Love Talk. It's a pleasure to be here with you to talk about how to make your relationship a blessing. As usual, next to me I have my lifetime companion.
That's right. Likewise.
And we're always here to help with advice, things that come from the Word of God to make your relationship better. You know, we were discussing about today's topic. And one of the biggest problems we have noticed over the years with working with couples is that a lot of people expect the partner to be an identical version of who they are. We see a lot of, let's talk about men. Usually we talk about women first. Let's talk about men first. Usually men treat their male friends in a certain way. You know, it's very common for a man to look at his male friends and say, hey man, you're fat, you're putting on weight, you're bald, your clothes don't match.
Where's your hair gone?
Where's your hair gone? What happened to your clothes selection this morning? You look horrible. And men hear these things, Elena, and they laugh. They smile, they think it's funny. We never get offended when a man, a friend, says these things to us. If someone says to us, you're fat, we'll say, well, you're not slim either. And then the thing is, a man starts a relationship, and of course in the beginning he doesn't say these things, he's polite. But after some time he thinks, well, we're so close now, I can tell you anything. And he starts saying things that he would say to his friends, and he thinks he's okay. And he doesn't understand that he's hurting, offending the person that is next to him.
It makes me, it's funny because sometimes we talk to women, me especially, they come for advice and they tell us these things. My husband said I'm like this, I'm like that. And I'm just thinking, someone needs to teach these men that you don't talk to a lady the same way you talk to a man. So there we are here today teaching some love etiquette to men and women today.
So, there is this perception, this idea that if you love someone, you can tell them whatever you want. And if the person loves you back, they will accept it. But we men have to understand that if you're dealing with a woman, surely you're married to a woman, then you can't treat her as a man. She's not a man. God made her a woman. She's different. God made us different. We have different needs. We have different problems. We have different things.
We were simply made differently. Okay, this is a message for the men out there. We are not the same, okay? I know that you hear many women out there saying, we are all the same, we want the same. Okay, you may want the same things, but you are not the same. So much so that even those women who say, no, we are all the same, we want to be the same, when they are treated the same, they don't like it. Within marriage, within relationship, they don't like it. Because when a man, now I'm going to defend men, when a man hears these movements of women saying, oh, we want to be treated the same, but what they mean is salaries, the law. But when a man hears that, wow, women are becoming so, so strong. You know what I mean? Not really, but they say they are. That when they hear that, okay, so, I can treat my wife or my girlfriend like I treat my pals. And then that's when things go wrong, because deep down women don't want to be treated the same. But that's not really what we want to talk about today, is it?
Yeah, and the thing is, so as we were talking about men, you need to understand, you need to treat, you cannot treat your wife, your girlfriend, as you treat your friends. Maybe you say, well, but she is my friend. She is your friend, but she's also your wife, the person you love, the person you care for. So you treat her with special care.
With respect.
Yes, and a woman doesn't want to hear you look horrible today. You can say to a friend, you look fat, you've put on a lot of weight, but you can't say that to your wife. If you say, well, Bishop, what if it's true? But there is a certain way to say things. You have to, instead of saying that, you have to know how to say that. You can say to a friend, look, your clothes today don't match, you look horrible. You're not gonna, we men, we don't take offense to this. But you can't do that with your wife. There has to be, you have to say, look, honey, I think maybe if you put on that color shirt, looks a little bit better. I think it looks different, better combination. So you're saying the same thing, but you're being careful because you don't want to hurt the person you love.
And also, if you find that your wife has put some weight on, be wise. Maybe she gave birth to your children. Maybe she gave you a gift called your children. So it's not easy to lose the weight unless you starve yourself like many people do. So be patient, be understanding, be mature.
Let's talk about Elena's afraid of some bugs that are going around.
I was bitten like 3 times already on my feet.
Let's talk about how the women should treat the men now, right? Because we spoke about the men. One of the problems we see happening with women is that sometimes the woman gets married and she isolates all her friends, her female friends, and she wants the husband to take the place of all those friends. And she wants to talk about sensitive things and wants the husband to be sensitive and wants the boyfriend or husband to be, highly, not highly sensitive, but too emotional. She wants to turn him into a person that he's not. And the bottom line of today's program is this. You have to understand, you cannot turn your wife into a version of your male friends. And if you're a woman, you cannot turn your husband into a version of your female friends to talk about fashion. It's very strange.
It's true.
It's very, very strange if you are married and your husband loves to talk about fashion. V-neck, crew neck, I don't know about...
Wow, I'm impressed with your knowledge. That's all he knows, really.
Yeah,
it's
but
true.
It's strange, right?
It's strange. Seriously, women, we love a sensitive husband to a certain level, to a certain point, to whatever you want to call it. But every day, you just can't take it.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's like, those friends. We all have friends, and amongst those friends, talking about the girls here, there's always the needy friend. That friend who texts you all the time and wants to call you all the time, and you are there cooking and you're thinking, oh my God, she's calling me again. Doesn't she know that I have a life? I'm cooking in the morning, I'm working in the afternoon. She's always calling. Imagine if your husband is like that. You are not gonna make it.
And one of the biggest complaints we get from ladies all the time is, Bishop, my husband doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't talk about deep things, meaningful things. A man can talk for 1 hour non-stop about basketball, about football, about cars, about something he likes. But talk to a man 5 minutes about the relationship, and for him that's too much. And that's not because the man is a bad husband. That's how men usually are. So it doesn't mean it's okay, it's acceptable to be like that, but you need to understand the differences. And this is where the problem is, Lena. People want to make the other one exactly like they are. That's not how relationships work.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
You need to accept the differences of that person. Embrace those differences. Embrace the fact that your husband is more quiet. That's who he is. Embrace the fact that your husband, he's a bit rough around the edges. But husband, embrace the fact that your wife needs to be treated differently to your male friends. She's not a male friend. Otherwise, you would have married your male friends, and then I would be worried about you, right?
Imagine you take your wife or your girlfriend, to a very nice fancy restaurant because it's your anniversary, or maybe it's her birthday, I don't know. And suddenly, she stops eating, she finishes it, and she burps and says, "Oh, this food was really great." Mm-hmm. This is what men do. Not all men, but some men, when they are together alone, eating pizza or whatever. So there is a difference. Do you understand? You cannot treat your wife, your girlfriend, the women in your life with roughness, the way you speak. It's not that we are weak. We just like a bit more finesse, respect.
And basically, we are different. That's it. You're different.
right.
You can have 100 friends, male friends, but you have one wife, one girlfriend. You have to treat her differently because she is different. So the purpose of today's program is for you to, after today, stop wanting to change that person from someone that they're not. Stop trying to make your wife become a best mate who you play basketball with, and women, stop trying to make your man a female friend who you talk about fashion with, or you talk about sensitive subjects with, because, my dear friend, we were made differently.
Yes, and let's embrace our differences. Let's respect each other's differences. We cannot be selfish. We have to understand other people. We cannot just look at ourselves. You know, this is where people make a mistake also. We hear all the time, no, but I got married so I could be happy. It's wrong. This is something you heard somewhere, maybe in a movie, but this doesn't correspond to the truth. You marry someone so you can make them happy. And
Complete their happiness.
Exactly, but you should already be a happy person. Do you understand? Because when you are not, you become very clingy, very demanding. You expect your husband to be your mother, the mother you never had, the father you never had, the best friend you never had. It's just too much. So when you see that the man is like, I can't take this anymore, you start thinking, oh, he's a bad man, men are all the same. No, he's just a man. Put it this way, men, black and white, women, lots of colors.
And
We are
don't
different.
try to change that, okay? We're going to listen to a beautiful song now. When we come back, we have a question we're going to answer, and I really hope that after today's program, there is an embrace of who the other person is, and not trying to change them into someone that they are not. We'll be right back.
Does not finish in my mind. I can just try to imagine how you are. All the stars in the sky, all the mountains and seas will never express how you are. My Lord, you know the reason why I came to you. My heart has no strength because my problems are so big. I need your power. My God, the only thing I seek is your love. Hold up my hands, let's go. All things I can do with you. Come and touch me, oh Lord. The only thing I seek is your love. Hold up my hands, let's go. All things I can do with you. Come and touch me, oh Lord. Reveal yourself to me. I cannot live without your great love. Come and touch me, oh Lord. Reveal yourself to me. I cannot live without your great love. I cannot live without your great love.
Welcome back. Here's the question of today. Jesus said we should forgive 70 times 7. How many times should I forgive my cheating husband? Okay, I think this is a very quick question to answer, but you need to understand something. This is something we've mentioned once on this program, very briefly. Forgiving is one thing. Taking someone back is something very different. How many times should you forgive someone? When Jesus said 70 times 7, it's not an exact number. It means you should forgive as many times as you need to forgive. But taking someone back is different. You can forgive someone without taking them back. If the person has cheated on you 2 times, 3 times, then they didn't do it. They didn't do it because they had a moment of weakness. They did it because they have no character. You shouldn't be with them. You should not be with someone who cheats on you for various reasons. First of all, because the person doesn't value you. Secondly, because the person can give you a sexually transmitted disease. There's many reasons why you shouldn't be with that person. And many people in certain cultures say, well, Bishop, in my country, if you marry someone, it's a great sin to divorce them. Divorce is not a sin if you are consistently betrayed, cheated, abused, you are beaten up, physically abused. Then it's a matter of safety. If the person had one moment of weakness and you want to take the person back, you can do that. But if the person repeatedly cheats on you with different women, then it's not a matter of forgiveness. You can forgive them, but not take them back. Tell them, move on with your life, I move on with mine. Because a person who does that doesn't deserve for someone to take them back, because they have no character, no respect, no integrity.
And also, there is the other side of the forgiveness on in this kind of situation. If you decide to stay with a person, then heal yourself. Understand that if you decide to say, you know what, let's move past this, let's make it work. You know, you talk about why this happened, you make improvements in your relationship, and you decide, I want to give this another try. Then you cannot be blaming the person all the time for what they did. Or feeling guilty. Oh, it was my fault that he betrayed me because I'm like this. No, you have to forgive the person and yourself, depending on what happened.
And move forward.
But if you stay in the relationship and you don't practice forgiveness, it's better that you don't stay together, because it will never work.
So to answer the question, forgiveness is one thing. Yes, you should forgive 1,000,000 times. But taking someone back has nothing to do with forgiveness. You can say to him, I forgive you for what you've done. Or you can say to her, I forgive you for what you've done. But we're not going to carry on in this relationship. You have no respect for me, no respect for yourself. You have no character. So please, I don't want to be with someone like you. Okay?
Absolutely.
Listen, we hope that today's program has been helpful. We love being here to talk about relationships with you. And I want to encourage you, if you have questions, don't go without unanswered questions. Send them to us. You can send it directly to our messenger. Our Facebook page is James and Elena Marquez, or you can put it here in the comment section of today's program. Okay? Enjoy now a powerful testimony. Next week we'll be back with you to answer more questions about your love life and give you direction from God for you to have a blessed relationship. God bless you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for sharing your story with people at home today. Give us an idea of what you went through in your life. Tell us a little bit about what you went through.
For me, everything started like when I was 5. From age of 5, I was abused by female. And then later on, it continued by 12, I was abused. It was like every 3 years, I was abused by different people. None of them ever been my family members. But the worst part, when I turned 14, I got raped. And then for me, when I got raped, it was like everything just turned upside down for my life. I felt like I lost my identity. And then from that, then, especially when I came to the UK, everything just turned upside down. Because of that, I started drinking heavily, I started smoking, I started dating my first boyfriend. And then through that relationship, because I wasn't happy, I feel so empty inside of myself of all those things that has happened to me. So because I was so empty like that, so I needed someone to be by my side. And then when I started dating my ex, I was 16, he was 22. And then we stayed 6 years relationship. It was unfaithful from beginning. But because also I didn't have more confidence within myself, so I didn't know what to do. I just stayed in that relationship.
Did you know he was being unfaithful to you?
Yeah, I knew. But when you lack that confidence within yourself, you don't think you're beautiful, doesn't think, anyone out there gonna want you. So you just say, okay, let me just stay in this relationship. Through staying in that relationship, I have an abortion a couple of times, about 6 times. 5 to 6 times, I can't really remember. And the reason why I was having all those abortions, because in my mind, because I haven't really forgive those people that has hurt me. So in my mind, I feel like if I have a child, it will be a son. And the thought of thinking having a child will be a son, that in my head, if you grow up, you're going to be raping other girls, like they did it to me. So because of that, I always go out there having abortion. It used to be every year, every year in that relationship that I was with him, I always end up having abortion. No matter how much I try to prevent it, it always happened. And then because of that, the emptiness that I was feeling myself, I used to go all the time club, I used to drink, and then almost all my friends, none of them knew what was happening inside of me. It was like I have 2 personalities. Outside of my friend, all babbling, laughing. But when I come home, because I live by myself, when I come home, it's like I could cry to my sleep. The worst part, it was in the relationship that I was, it became to the point I knew that the guy was unfaithful. I could see a lot of things that he was doing with to me, but because I just lacked that confidence, I just lacked that boldness, say to myself, you know what, I'm gonna go out there, do things. I even try in the relationship to be unfaithful, to try to do something else, but it was it didn't work out because of the low self-esteem that I had.
So you went through abuse.
Yes.
You went through rape.
Yes.
You went through unfaithfulness. The person you were with for 6 years was unfaithful to you.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to solve this problem? Did you try something to find happiness? I know you said you were drinking, you were clubbing. Did you ever try to find something that would take away this emptiness and this low self-esteem that you had?
What I tried, it was drinking, smoking, going out, club, having fun.
Did that work?
It didn't work because after I did that, at the end of the day, I have to come home. And then when I come home, this is where my problem lies on me. So it was I tried everything, nothing worked. I tried what I thought that was helpful. We tried to sit down to speak. even though because of being abused, being raped, I even started going to and having abortion. I even started going, when I was going to college, I was going for counseling because it became to the point I couldn't, it's like my head, I couldn't really think properly.
Were you able to forgive the people that abused you, to forgive the person who raped you? Were you ever able to forgive, or you carried, what did you feel towards those people inside of you?
I have a lot of anger inside of me. I was so beaten. I used to be those type of girls that I love fighting. Everything I'll fight. And then I fight guys, like they can be big. Like I always want to release my anger on someone because I felt like they took something that without asking my permission, especially the men when I was raped, I was like, they took something that they never asked my permission.
There are people who go through what you went through and they never recover. How did your life change? Because you're here to tell your story now because things changed.
Yes.
How did your life change?
My life changed when I came to the UCKJ Help Center. I got invited. I knew about the church, but I got invited to come. I was like, okay, let me come, let me try. And then when I came there, I started learning how to use my faith. But what really made me change, it was an event that they have, a day of decision. So when I came to that event, I make my decision. I said, like, from now on, I want to change. It wasn't easy, but I keep my decision, my vow that I made. And then from that, they want to see things changing, doing the channel prayer, taking part to services, like coming Sunday, Wednesday or Friday, start taking part to services. And then from that, then I started learning how to start using my faith. And then the main thing for me, it was learning how to forgive. That is what I really found hard. And then when I understood that the more I'm keeping those anger inside of me, those grudges inside of me, I'm not helping myself. I'm hurting myself. So when I understood that, then that's when I let go of this. And then from that, then that's how things
Are you
change.
totally free from the anger you had?
Yes, I am.
And you said you didn't know your value before. Do you know your value now?
Now I know my value.
That's great. Would you be happy to show people at home who you are, and so they can see through your smile and through your face that you are different?
Yes, I can. My name is Maggie. I overcome abuse, rape, and a faithful relationship that lasted for 6 years. And then today, I'm a new person and I value myself.